How about this? Question for you, David.
What's that? What is the question?
Are you my soulmate?
Am I your soulmate?
You heard me, woman. You heard what I said.
I better be.
Are you my soulmate?
I better be.
Now, what if I know you may have been captured,
I better be.
You may be captivated by all this fineness. That's tricky.
Baby, I glowed you up.
And
Don't play.
And that's tricky. I mean, that's tricky to get rid. And so, is there such thing as a soulmate?
It depends on who you ask. Some people believe they're soulmates. Some people believe they're soulmates. Some people believe that that it's just a right person for a right person for another right person. Some people don't believe in soulmates at all. So I truly believe it depends on who you ask.
I'm asking.
Like my thing is, so I believe there's I used to love watching Grey's Anatomy. I had to go back and catch up all on Grey's Anatomy, right? But one thing that I used to love about Yang was she used to tell Meredith she was her. Meredith was her person. Yeah. So my thing is, some people even feel like. So I contribute that to my person as even being a soulmate, right? So I think even for me personally, I believe it could even be beyond just in a relationship, like a husband or wife relationship, because for some people, and I think what that basically means is that person gets you.
Oh, I like the way I didn't think about that.
But I used to love that. She was like that. So now everybody like, oh, you're my person. That came from Grey's Anatomy first, back in the early 2000s.
Let's get to set the mood in here. If you're listening and watching right here, you may be asking yourself, you may be looking across the way and thinking, am I with my soulmate? Am I with the person I'm supposed to be with, or was it a shotgun wedding? Maybe we had a little bit of that. A little bit of that wine.
Because some people may say, like, I think it's like best, people like, oh, that's my best friend, right? You know what I'm saying? Or,
we're just together.
Or, yeah.
I need your half of the rent.
So, did you bring the definition of soulmate today?
I got all that.
You got all that. Let me make sure. I want to see the soulmate definition for myself.
I got it in the notes, you know what I'm saying, to keep through here. So, does it matter, though? We're talking about today, is there such a thing as soulmates? And so many people have this. We have this fairy tale thing. We saw Disney. All the women didn't do nothing in Disney. If you notice back in the time, like they used to lay down. The prince used to come. They used to climb the tower, fight the dragon.
Those were the oldest movies. Now the new movies, not the new Disney movies, baby. It's about womanhood. Yes, I love it.
Oh boy. Women, you're right. Women empowerment.
It's about women, right? That's why Moana's my favorite. Disney.
I don't need nobody. I'm gonna swim.
She didn't say that. She said
I don't need. I'm INDEENDEE. Moana, do you know that?
Princess and the Frog, Princess Tiana.
She had to work.
She was working.
She made some mean beignets. So, but does it matter? Is there such thing as a soulmate? Are you with your soulmate? You may be looking right now. You may be listening, watching, whatever you're doing right now. You think, am I with my soulmate? Ooh, that hit hard right now. You thinking, oh, this person just got on my nerves. So I know I ain't with my soulmate. Maybe you look at just the piece right here. We're going to talk about it today and get into it. But welcome back to the #1 relationship and marriage podcast in the world, the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. podcast, where I am your host, Mr. a.k.a. Jeffrey Mr. And right beside me is my wife of almost 16 years, y'all.
Whoop, whoop, sweet 16. Mrs. Mr. a.k.a. Dana Mr. And together we are the Mr.
Where have we been? I know we got the question. I got a lot of those questions on Instagram. Where have we been?
So we've been living life, traveling the world.
We're trying to make
having fun.
We're trying to make
these kids keeping us busy.
We've been trying to exactly. You have kids, you understand.
Yes.
And so trying to make
and I remember people used to say, oh, when the kids were younger, those were the easiest. Those the perfect ages. They used to say it all the time, like, oh, they're as good when they're younger. That's because you're not carpooling these people everywhere you got to go. See, when they babies, they go where you go, right? Now it's like they have their own schedules, everything. Auntie Janice said she talked to Malia. Shout out to Auntie Janice, just turned business off.
Yeah, but
she said that Malia, why you don't call me? And Malia gonna tell her, oh, that's because I'm busy.
Wow.
She was like, Malia, what are you busy doing? What? She said, well, I have soccer and I have piano and I have soccer pretty much. Then I have school. And she was like, and then Janice asked her, she was like, well, can you at least attempt to call me once a week? She said, Malia gonna say, I'll attempt to call you twice a week. I was like, that's sweet. So, because I was about to say, Malia, no, family, you still have to make sure you put priority. Yeah. So yes. But we've been out enjoying life, having fun. Work has been busy, career's been busy. Jeff is back to traveling now. And really, it's been hard just trying to get on the same schedules.
And we left off at that point. I know y'all asking. I did not replace Dana like they replaced Unveiled on. I want to know though, how would y'all have felt if y'all came back to the Mr. and Mrs. podcast and it was like an Asian woman or a white woman on the side, and we tried to like nothing even mattered.
Baby, you
think your folks would ride for you?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, they better ride for me.
And if you just get on this train, we call you our MF,
Mr. Fam.
Mr. Fam. So MF, what would you have done if you would have came in here and it had been a white woman sitting on the other side, or an Asian woman, or a Mexican woman,
or just another woman,
or maybe another black woman this side? And you can. That look like in the same way y'all look when Unveiled came on the Fresh Prince.
I was mad. Look, first of all, because I was the
only nobody look like her.
Well, growing up, growing up, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was really because we had 3 channels, 24/30, and I forgot what the other station was. But anyway, we basically had 2 channels, 24/30, right? And I remember when it happened. So that was one of the very first shows that you really was able to see with Cosby Show, then the Fresh Prince and all of that stuff. And so I was mad when it changed, because I was like, clearly, which I was younger then, but I was like, oh, that's different. Like, you didn't understand the concept of what went behind the scenes.
I didn't know it.
You just knew it was a change.
Like, hold on. It ain't even addressed it. And so many times, stuff like that. We're going to talk about this season 3. So if you just getting on the train, welcome. Go ahead and subscribe, like all that, pass, and tell somebody else about it.
So you thought about replacing me?
I thought about it. Not replacing you in real life. Like, I would have still had you and my wife. I'm just talking about on the podcast, but you would have made it awkward. Like,
baby, let me tell you something. I bring the fun to the show.
No, I'm with you. I would prefer. No, listen. I'm an ally of you. I propose to have you here.
Yeah.
It's just your
with my schedule.
Your schedule was a little hard to work around, and so when I'm trying to schedule guests on there, I'm like, does this work? I'm like, so guests. Oh, this season we do have.
Oh, we so excited.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so excited about this season.
We got doctors on. We got people who have been through a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, we talking about divorce.
We talking about it's a lot of stuff.
Yes, we talking about having another baby.
Yes. Hello and look out. So I'm sleeping with a chastity belt every single night. I like practicing yams. I don't like what I'm saying? I like my yams to go. I don't like the stay.
Okay, so let me just give y'all a heads up. My goal was always to have 4 kids. 4. I always wanted to have 4 kids. I compromised with 3, right? I'm willing to compromise with 3. But my thing is, Jerry better get on this bandwagon.
Can you compromise with kids? That's how you can compromise. It's like, you know what? I do want some Chinese tonight. Like, you can compromise with food. We're gonna talk about all that this season. So make sure you are linked in. You are part of the MF family. We want to get you connected and stay into it. So bring other people on this MF family. We believe, man, in not just in surviving marriage, but thriving in marriage. And you need to, in every single marriage you have, every single relationship you have, you need to be able to laugh, learn, and love.
Yes, baby. If you can't do that,
and somebody right now just sitting back, maybe you think, man, we roommates right now, maybe, and you can get out of that. And that's why we want you to ride with us and go to it. We try to be as real as possible. And if you're coming through now, like you said, we got 2 kids.
Sometimes we may argue on the show. It's okay. Don't go back and be trying to report. Like, my thing is, this is a marriage. We've been in this thing for 16 years.
Exactly. And so we try to make it as real as possible. If you're new to the journey, don't get mad, don't get upset. We always end with the Mr. Monthly, so stay tuned for that. And if you are part of any couples coaching sessions that are part of that, if you want to be a part of that, hit us up, DM us.
It was funny because I remember one of the guests that we had, they were like, I didn't even think y'all get mad at each other. I was like, what?
You don't watch the, you don't listen to the podcast. Watch and listen to the podcast. This is not. I'm telling y'all, we try to be real positive.
But we love each other.
Yeah,
I think it's love, and I think it's good to have a healthy compromise, healthy debate or whatnot. When we love each other, I'll ride or die for Jeff. He'll ride or die for me. But it's just reality. One thing about it is, and we've always stated, Jeff and I are two completely opposite people. We are. My thing is, the one thing that we have a common ground for is that we love God. I love God.
You love God.
So, we love God and we love family and we love to laugh. So, and I believe with that, and now we love to travel. Jeff done got on the travel book.
I appreciate that. I do give you accolades for that because I wasn't really a travel person.
But other than that, we're just opposites. And so, I think once you realize, I think one of the things we have recognized is when you have common foundations, like that's what you have to focus in on, right? Sure. And so, because then that way, when those differences do come up, you just like, oh, okay,
and that's what we talk about today. You may be looking right now, and that's why I asked myself this question before this. I didn't talk about this with you before this because I wanted to be just us off the cup, cusp rather, not
cusp.
But just think about this. Are you with your soul? And I was like, we're gonna talk about that more. I want you to answer now, and if you are, drop some in the comments. Yes, no, what you think right now. We'll come back this to the end real quick. So, what is Webster's definition? I know you're gonna ask that. I already looked it up. It says this is the definition of a soulmate. It says a person who is perfectly suited to another in temperament. So my folks need a little synonym in that place. Is perfectly suited. Somebody.
See, my definition is something different.
Hold on. Let me get a letter.
Go
a
ahead.
person who strongly resembles another in attitudes or beliefs. That's what Webster told me. What you got?
Okay, what I got was a person ideally suited to another as a close friend or romantic partner.
Oh,
I like my definition.
I like my definition. So I'm with Webster, and Webster been definitioning way before your Apple definition came up to get that. So you might be thinking right now, am I with myself? And we're thinking right now with ourselves. So I want to get to this first piece. I looked up some stats for this, right? The University of Texas, California State University in San Bernardino recently published in Evolution in Human Behavior. They looked up and they said, all right, they begin with a simple question. They said, what makes people happier? And I want you to ask this question. I want you to answer this question. All right, being with someone who fulfills all of their ideal partner criteria. Somebody that fits everything you need. Somebody that's going, whoa, you get home, fella. That's going to be like, they're going to have it tooted up for you. Or whatever your desires are. It's not here to judge. Or simply being with someone who is better than all the other realistic options out there.
Ooh.
So A or B, this is what that study showed. I want to ask that question first. What would you say there? No judgment. It's a safe place. This is what we always say this, right? All right, we in free mode. You can share this. It is really like sometimes.
Yeah, then I still be there.
Oh, this is what you said. You said that.
Okay, so basically it's stating either somebody who meets all of your ideal options.
Let's put some letters to it so people jump in.
So all your ideal options, or B, somebody that's better than other options. That's
somebody who, let me read it, simply being with someone who is better than all the other realistic options out there for you.
Well, most people probably say they're ideal. I mean, I would think, most people would say ideal. I mean, because if I'm in a city where everybody just doing what they want to do, and this is the best of the cream, this is the best of the best.
Look, I'm a tree monster. This is the best.
Like, I don't know.
One tooth in your mouth. This is the best.
I don't know if I want to go that route.
This is the best version I'm gonna have. It's the best version I'm gonna have. So. All right, so
I would say
just to be clear, you picking A.
Yeah.
Right. So I would probably say A too, because you want to go in with the best version, right?
Oh, well, this is the best.
I want the best. Look at that, man. I'm settled for this little.
You want to settle for?
It's a post I'm finna make real quick. I don't think I've made it yet because I've been traveling, but a guy posted him and his lady, and the quote says, "She ain't much to look at, but she loyal." I was like, oh.
Let me tell you something.
I love baby, cold blue. Get the chains off the door. He said, he's like, she ain't the prettiest or something like that, but she loyal. I guess he's thinking he's giving her a compliment.
That's not a compliment.
Listen, even if you, fellas, let me
Even
look
if
let
you
me look directly in
think
the
that
camera.
that's
If you
not
listening,
something
let me look
in
directly.
your eyes, your spouse supposed to be the
Man,
best thing
listen,
going.
you better close your eyes, then, fellas. I'm just trying to say, do not. If nothing else, you don't learn from this podcast today.
Don't
Do
post
not
it.
go and post something
Don't,
saying,
especially don't post
she
it.
ain't you know what I'm saying, she ain't pretty, but you know, she loyal. So, bro, she ain't no dog. You ain't talking, what are you talking about, Lassie? What are you talking about?
Right.
What are you talking about? So
you talking about a relationship.
and you talking about who you with. She smiles, and she was a bit, and that's why I said, man, it's just, folks, we gotta do better. So, all right, so let's see what they say. So you let us know what you said, A or B. All right, both of us pick A, right? Mm-hmm. So, all right, so what, like maybe B in the row, just see. All right, so they conducted a survey asking 860 people questions that made preferences, and after getting through the results, it was determined that your relationship satisfaction doesn't depend on whether your partner matches all of your ideal preferences. And so, rather, we are satisfied when we have the best partner available to us. So we were wrong, I guess, for the survey, but the best partner that's available to us. And so I thought about that. And so for us coming up, it really depends on when we talk about soulmates. And I asked that question to people, kind of hear what they said. Some people are like, yes, I'm with my soulmate. And other person like, no, I ain't with mine. And it gets started a little beef in the thing. I thought about, where does that idea of soulmates come from? So start with the question, where did your idea of soulmates begin? Where did it originate from?
I think for me and my kids and just they laugh at me all the time because they be like, "Oh, mommy, all you want to do is watch a romantic comedy."
That's all she do. Who's a library? She's like, "Can you pick us, get me a little book, a romantic comedy?"
I love romance. I am a sucker for romance.
What did you hear growing
because
up?
that's what I saw growing up on television. Like, so you saw
what
like
movies or shows did you watch?
I mean, like for example, like I told you, we only have 2 stations. So, but my thing is like watching the Cosby Show. My thing is, you know, like they were in a relationship, working together. Mm-hmm. They had 5 kids, and my thing is, but they still had fun with it.
Claire Huxtable was fertile. I don't know if y'all Claire Huxtable.
Like, but you know, but they had fun with it. They enjoyed themselves. They love being around each other. Mm-hmm. Like towards the as you go throughout the seasons, like they started becoming more real and more realistic. Like even with Vanessa, and she was going off on Vanessa. Even when Claire was like, "I just got to get out of here," and she was sent away to just go.
Theo had that weed in his book.
Yeah, like struggling with. Theo had that dyslexia and all that stuff. So it's like as the seasons went along, it became definitely more realistic, but it was still so like, oh my goodness, like I admire them as a family. It's something that I aspire and I want it to be.
So I'm taking what you said. I'm trying to quantify it. You're saying you enjoy that they work together.
They work together.
They had a whole bunch of kids.
They laughed. They told you like
they had a whole bunch of kids.
Yeah, they had 5 kids. Yeah.
Now she was fertile. She was very fertile, and so that means there was some yams getting got on there. I didn't hear you say the yams, but
I'm just saying,
if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
And then you said that they dealt with real life issues in a realistic way.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Because like some of my favorite episode, when Theo was talking about he wanted to move out and all of that stuff, and they went through the whole they had the Monopoly money, like it's like, man, I won't do stuff like that. Like, so it was more realistic and transparent. And
fair enough. And so mine was, I think I saw the Cosby Show too. I'm thinking of soulmates. I think it comes from, like you said, movies. I'm trying to think of what specific movies or shows. Like you said, Bill Cosby, the Cosby Show was probably one of them because that was one of the ones we saw coming up. Mm-hmm. And seeing, like the Steve Urkel, Family Matters, them, like seeing those, like Carl and what's Carl's wife's name?
Oh my goodness.
What is Carl Winslow's wife's name?
Oh my goodness, if you wouldn't have said anything.
What is Carl Winslow's? What is Harriet. Sorry, Harriet. Look, I love you. You were great. You did a great job in this thing. Of seeing those and seeing people together, I think was great. Mm-hmm. My folks together, so seeing them, I think that's an example. I think just like once you start getting the age, you start liking it, you start smelling yourself, like your grandmama said. And so you start to get, so I think mine came from just seeing some of those images stuff coming up to where, but then I started thinking about like what criteria do we take from what we saw growing up to where we are now? Just an initial question we talked about in terms of a soulmate. So what are we taking into, or what did you take into from seeing what you just named of how much are all those things in what you're looking for when you think about a soulmate?
Mm-hmm.
You said yes, no?
I would say yes. I'm not really understanding your question.
So you named a list of things. Well, I quantified a list of things that you took from what you said, right? Mm-hmm. And so those are things from childhood. What we're talking about is there a such thing as a soulmate? If there is, that means I have my own definition and my own expectation of what that soulmate would be. And so moving into that, I'm getting into now from fast forward from the past to the present and future, for some people too who are listening, like, I'm not married yet, I'm not in a place, but I got my expectation of what a soulmate would be. Maybe I'm single, maybe I'm divorced, maybe I'm married right now. I got this place. And I'm thinking about for us, we're married right now. Legally, I haven't checked the record, but I think we're still out. Still out. And so if you could build your perfect soulmate, you could manufacture me. You could put me on the assembly line. Should have brought the power drill in this one.
So funny.
What would it look like? What would it be? So maybe not even just me, but just thinking of like what would it be? What would be on that list? What would be on that list of soulmate? You want me to start? Or you gotta
you can start.
Okay. I think first you gotta be physically attractive. You gotta fit that list because I mean that's a start, or at least feel attractive to me. Right? It may not be. You may have 1, 2, but I might like that 1, 2, maybe flossed and clean. I like that piece. So I think being physically attractive, I think is one thing. I think on the same side spiritually, I think that's one thing. Because if we're on two sides spiritually, like you may be the finest person ever, but you like, you know what I'm saying? Like we worship goats. Like we eat goats over here, and so that might start a little argument right there. So I think attractiveness, spiritual, like being on the same wavelength spiritually, or at least willing to be on the same wavelength. And I think being able to have fun together and like, being friends, I think is a huge part. So I think that soulmate would be including those things of having, the top 3 would be those things. I think spirituality, attractiveness, and being able to have common ground on things to have fun with, to have a companion. You know what I'm saying? So if I had picked the top 3, I have some more than list, but that's just the top 3. So what would you pick?
I think my top 3 would definitely be spiritual. I think the spiritual foundation, basically, definitely being on the same wavelength.
Drill it in every time you do it. What's your drill sound like?
I believe also somebody, like I said, I love people who have sense of humor, that love to have fun. Although most people may consider me like, oh, you may be a stick in the mud, but I'm really not. I love to have fun. I think a lot of times when people see me, I do carry out professional side, so I have to be professional, right? So but I love to have fun.
I can jive with y'all.
Yeah, I love to have fun.
Let me see your fun dance.
And then also,
hey, hold on, let me do it. Hey. Shoot the 3. Here's 3. Okay.
Anyway, and then also just I mean, you have to be physically attracted to somebody, but I think with that though, like sometimes
do women have to be physically? That's a good. Do you have to be physically attracted to your mate?
I think the thing about it is, I think for me, I can only speak for me. Only for me. I can only speak for me.
So if I was like 900,
I think personality carries a lot for me. I'm just being honest with you. Like personality probably carries a lot more for me. I mean, because like, looks eventually y'all is gonna fade away, right? I'm just being honest. Like, just saying, like, as long as you continue to work out and do all this 50 stuff, 50 million things you got to do fast and all of that stuff. So, but what I'm saying is, I don't know, because let me say, how can I put this?
Yeah, please do.
Because I've dated guys who were very, very handsome, and I dated some that was like, oh, okay. But their personality was amazing, like the way they made me laugh, the way they take care of me.
Which category do I fit in?
I mean, you figure it out. That's only for you.
I need to know. Do we finna be opening grand closing on this season? Hold on, I need to pause.
Baby, you are very handsome. You are very handsome to me. Yes.
You said personality, so I ain't got no personality?
Baby,
I'm just a trophy husband. I'm walking around here, you want me because of all this fineness? Is that what it is?
See, you see what I'm saying? So, but I'm just stating like. Wow. I was able to oversee a lot of things because my thing is for me.
Women.
My thing is, I guess for me, I think for women. But for me, I can't speak for women.
Yeah,
for
some
me,
women would be like,
for me, because some women may be like, no, baby, they got to be
tall,
chocolate, all of that stuff. But for me, I could really oversee as long as for me, you treat me well, you respect me, and my thing is like I can oversee, some things. Now I'm not saying you need to be, well, never mind.
No, this is what we
I'm just saying. Like, I mean, because I'm.
Go ahead, put your. Say it with your
I'm
chest.
just saying I could oversee a lot of things. And I think beauty is not, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
It is, and God don't like ugly.
Everything that God made is beautiful.
That's lying. But that gets to the point. Women have a superpower though. Y'all have a superpower of being able to overlook unattractiveness and see those things. And that's what we love about you.
I think do you think more women are able to do it?
Absolutely. I put my last $2 on women have a superpower to do that. I think men, we want to have that. It's just
it's hard.
Didn't make us that way. Yeah. We like to see that. Like when you got the shower, you want to look at something. You want to see something. You want to look at.
Why does it have to be when you're in the shower? Why can't when you wake up out of the bed in the morning with your pajamas on?
This is where we get. That's why I want to ask that question about Soulmate. So y'all see these movies and stuff. Y'all get the wrong reality of what's happening. Men, we like the yams. We like the yam. There's nothing wrong with the yam. Y'all want to have all them kids y'all want. So y'all want to have the kids asexually or through some other kind of way. Okay. That's what we're trying to do. So alrighty. You see what I'm talking about? This she read the jump. And so all right, since most of us don't have soulmates or perfect soulmates.
So you think most people don't have soulmates?
I'm.
Well, I guess that's the reason why the divorce rate. You think that's
no?
Because let me ask you this. Do you believe that people can marry their soulmate and still get a divorce?
Yes. No. Well, I don't think there are soulmates. Can I say more about that? Can I get the floor just for a second?
Yeah.
I don't.
Now you're not the first person I heard that.
You are. If you're married, you are married to you are married to somebody that ain't your soulmate. Somebody's just like, somebody perked up. I don't think anybody's married to this. I think when you think of the idea of soulmate, you think of somebody perfect for you. And I don't think there's anybody that's maybe I haven't seen anybody. I don't think anybody that's perfect for you. It's somebody you got to do work with on a daily basis to make it these years. I mean, we could have threw the towel in several times at this point, but it takes the work to get to that place. And I think when you go into the mindset of soulmate, I think, like you're a person that you don't mind working for and working with to get to that place. I think yes, but I think when you think of soulmate, I think a lot of times we think of somebody that I don't have to do anything. They accept me for who I am. I can sit back and become 900, eating triple Big Macs every day, and they will be perfect for me and love me the same way as if I did something different. And I think it does, life doesn't work that way. You got to be able to work daily to get to that place. The person that you meet and 5 years later is not the same person, or 10 years later, or 20 years later. And now you see a lot of people getting divorced, and they call it gray divorce, to where, people have expectation. They think, man, Jeffrey ain't the person that's going to get me to this next stage. So I'm going to focus on me for this next season of life and lead that place. And I think that's where I think some of the concern comes in, thinking that this is going to be this ideal look. And now social media, you see people on those things. Some people even see us like, man, just like with the guests, like, I didn't think y'all even argue. Like, this is what we're doing the podcast for, to take away the veil of what you see on social media and all those things. Like, we post good times, yes, but there are things that you got to work through daily in those times. So if I wake up and say I'm not working on this relationship, then something's going to suffer. And I think if I just take on the mindset of a soulmate, I think I don't have to work. If you're taking a soulmate as if what you're saying earlier, like, this is my person, and I'm willing. I like a lot of things about them. There's some things I don't like about them. The same thing. But I'm willing to work to compromise and build up and grow our kids and work together. I think yes, but I think if you're looking from the idea of a soulmate, of a person just completely getting me and I can just do whatever at that point in time, and they won't even challenge me or push me out of the way. I think no, you are not. I am not. We are not married to our soulmates if it's to that point. So that's my step on just like it takes marriage, man. You realize it takes some work to get to this thing, and if you're not doing that, what do you need to do as you get there? So that's my nugget.
That's your nugget.
My nugget there to get there. So
I may agree with that. I believe that I do believe I do believe in a such thing there are soulmates, but I agree with you that it may not necessarily be the person that you are married to.
Yeah.
Only because like I think like in terms of like my best friend Erica, right? Like I think we get
Eric,
each
what up,
other.
mate?
Yeah, I think we get each other. Like you know what I'm saying. So she may be my person, right? As Yang say, as Meredith and Yang say, right? She may be my person, right? So I think for that, I mean, because if you base it on the definition, I think that is challenging. But that's the reason why I say I like my definition, because your definition is like that perfect.
That's a perfect.
Yeah,
perfectly suited.
Yeah. So I don't believe.
Like
Yeah, but I think that's the reason why I say
Man.
I like my definition, because it says ideally, right? It's like somebody that I do. What you say?
It ain't Webster.
It's not Webster, but I mean, so I think with that, I don't know. I think ultimately though, only only you can make the decision if that person is your soulmate.
And somebody will be watching and listening right now thinking, man, this person's not my soulmate. But I would also ask to say, how much work are you guys putting in together? Right. And so, like,
because some couples may say that person is their soulmate.
Yeah, which is I'm not here to. I'm just telling my opinion, but I'm saying, regardless of either way you think about it, if you think you're not going to put in work, that's the point I'm trying to make. Of it's some things that we don't like about each other at that point. But if I just focus on only that and not the good things of each other, nobody will be your soulmate, because nobody's going to be perfectly, like Debbie said, perfectly handcrafted and made for you. Now, you may have some people you have some more things in common with, and you have some similarities with that you can get with, but it's nobody gonna be perfect, raised the same way, and see the same things that you do. Now, how willing are you to work through those things is where the work comes in, and where you get to that place. And that's what we're trying to get through this season. So come along this journey with us as we journey through. We got some good.
Yes, we're excited about this season. So tune in. Dr. Jessica Ruffin gonna be on. Yes, and we're so excited.
I got some surprises. Some surprises. So if you are mad, if you're not a part of MF,
hit a subscribe.
Hit that thing for us. Before we go, Dana, what did you learn today? What's one thing you learned today?
One thing that I learned today, that Jeffrey does not believe in soulmates.
I don't.
Yeah, I
believe in workmates. I believe in I believe in your workmate, somebody that you willing to roll your sleeves up. You ever work with somebody like a boss or something like that, and they be like, we got to do all this stuff. You be thinking, you talk about me, not us. And that's what I'm thinking. I think sometimes we can take that shift of thinking, we need to get better at this, and you thinking it's a dual thing. So I'm thinking workmates. I want somebody that's gonna roll their sleeves up and saying, man, this ain't working for us. Our communication ain't working. Our sex ain't working. Our things ain't working. What can we do to work and get it better? I'm not trying to leave you. I'm trying to work with you. Oh, listen. You'll jump over a mountain for somebody that's willing to work with you through anything that you're going through, anything you have. I think it's what we all are searching for, that person that's working with you through that. So I mean.
Yeah. What about you? What is one thing you learned?
One thing I learned? I learned that Dana wants a lot of kids because she saw Claire Huxtable. So
I did not say that.
I rewind it.
I did not say that.
Rewind. No, I'm just trying to show that piece of personality so I can stay. I learned that more people choose the best version, the best possible option they have, instead of the ideal situation, which is different than what I would have thought.
Yeah. And that's different from what I thought.
Yeah, but I guess it makes sense in the sense of like,
hey, I guess you dealt.
You did.
Look what you.
The best hand I got. Listen, I ain't got no
you got
space.
to work with the cards you dealt.
I don't have any space. I got all hearts, but you the best heart.
And maybe that's the reason why a lot of people end up staying single.
Maybe so.
Because of the mental thought that we had that you should pick the best ideal partner.
You still look
but basically, tell you, I guess you just got to deal with the cards you dealt and pick the best of the best.
But I think making the most of what you got. I think that's the big thing with that too. Making the most of what you got and get to that place so you don't have to stay there. So don't leave them. Don't leave her. Don't leave them. Work with them.
Yes.
All right, be workmates instead of soulmate. Yes. Be workmate with them. I said so. That's important. Get that. Be workmate. MF, we love y'all, man. We love y'all. And we end every episode. If you're new to the train, we do the Mr. Mantra. If you in couples coaching, you know about this. where you look at each other, you say these three things, whether you argue, whether you agree, whether you disagree, whether you say the soulmate and they didn't say the soulmate, whether you sick of them, they breathe too loud, they on their pep, they on their not pep, the
What?
I
like you, I love you, and I want
you. So those three things.
So
look at each other in the eyes. Look at each other in the eyes. You gotta get in close. I bought you this dress. See, you look good in this dress.
Thank you, baby.
I like you. I love you, and I want you. Get a little sugar.
Took your breath away.
Got lipstick on. My baby mama would be upset. I'm just joking. Goodness, people. So, listen, subscribe. We're at mr.mrs.mister on Instagram. We got some crazy videos and stuff that you could love throughout the week. Keep you motivated, quotes, all that stuff. And on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the other podcasts.
Yes.
Tell somebody about the #1.
And he's also Mr. Jeffrey Mister.
Yes.
On Instagram.
Mr. Jeffrey Mister right here. And Mrs. Dana Mister on that side.
Well, let me tell you something. My page is private, so I got to verify you.
Come on and get some of this. Listen, if you know some great guests too, tag them below. Let us know who they are. We're looking for some more great guests. Great season upcoming right now. We're talking about travel, life, pregnancy, love, sex, divorce, all those other things in between. So don't go anywhere.
We're out.
Love y'all.